All right, still trying to do stuff for the show. And this was something that I've had in my brain for quite a while. And since I love to jelly press, I thought this would be a good thing to do. I try to keep my jelly press in good condition. I try to keep it clean and well taken care of. I paid, I got the, one of the large, you can get larger ones now, of course. This is the gel press. This is the 12 by 12 size. I really like this size. But, of course you can get smaller ones for much less expensive. Well, I think you can get the little triangle ones like for 12 or 14 bucks. This one I think was 30 bucks. And to me, it's worth it to spend the extra money because I really like this size. And I am still drinking coffee. Okay, so receipts. I have these journals. I covered a bunch of journals a while back with different scrapbook paper and with different... These I found, but I hadn't used. And then I waited too long. I returned them. I'm like, gosh, that's a lot of money for 3 journals. And when I returned them, they were like $1. And I'm like, well, I'll just keep them then, because then I'm just really just throwing away money. But I went and looked at Staples at their clearance, which I have a Staples right down the road. And they had these very nice little journals for $1. $1. Is that not awesome? I thought that was pretty awesome. Of course, I didn't realize I was going to have to do this, or I would have done this before you guys got on here. Really? Oh, come on now. Okay, so these I know I can pull off. Anybody want some stupid patches? It's kind of nice to have the bags here to reuse these. So I might keep the bags to try to reuse them. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get these journals ready. And they all have that sticker on them. So I'm going to try some alcohol on them, see if I can't dissolve that. Okay, I'll be back in a while. I'm going to turn on the TV and work on this. It'll probably take me at least a half hour to get all those stickers off. Fun times. Okay, bye. Hi guys. Okay, it's quite a few hours later since our first discussion. I had to go to the grocery store and go get some apples to make some apple crisp. I'm going to try to make one in a crock pot since I don't have a stove or an oven. I have 2 burners. So, alright, what I have done is I've taken those plastic sheets that I have some extras, and I've covered up the pages. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put you on fast forward. I'm going to get out the jelly press and I'm going to attempt to see if I can paint these. I'm trying to paint these. It's my goal. I don't know if it's going to work. And I think I have to have a drawing table of some sort. So I'll go and set up a table. So when you next come back, I'm just going to be watching a movie and you guys will be on fast forward. All right. We'll chat soon after everything's done. Okay. Have a great day. Bye. Good morning. Happy Thanksgiving. How are you all doing today, my beautiful artists? So you watched me put the first layer or two on the books. I am going to go through and try to put final layers on the books. So, again, this one has had, I think, 2 different layers. You can still see the actual book underneath of here. So, the thing I am going to do while these are dry, not while they're sitting on the jelly press, stay. I'm going to try to give the book a little bend so that it is more receptacle to the paint in the middle. It doesn't like to take the paint in the middle. So this has had 2 layers on it. You can see the green layer underneath, the blue layer on top. And this one has had 2 layers. Good thing that plastic is there. So this I could see definitely putting a lot more of the copper on top. I think this would be great as a copper and green. This one has had 1, maybe 2 layers now. You know, it's hard to know whether I want to cover the whole book or whether I want to leave some of the black spots in there. I think, as with other jelly press, see, this guy only had 1. I think with these particular books, I think I want to cover them most of the way, so definitely need a lot more paint on that guy. These are gonna, this color is great. This one I kind of like it just as it is. Oh, my fingerprints, probably not very good. I do, however, love this color. So that looks like that was the red and the copper. And maybe a little bit of the burnt sienna in there. So I'm going to try to keep, again, some of these more masculine. I think the purple is a great color. Complements the purple would be the copper again. Copper is really working well for me lately. I like the gold. If you mix the gold with the red oxide, the burnt siennas, it makes a really pretty color too. That's how I got a lot of the effect on the cards that I did. And, you know, these first... I knew that these would take a lot of layers, you know, so the first layers are definitely not nearly as pretty. This one has had a couple layers, but it definitely still needs more help. Yeah, trying to think of the darks and the lights. Again, if you don't have the darks, you can't really have the lights. So, you know, what color is going to be best fitting for this? Possibly something completely opposite. Possibly more of the copper and purple. That's a really pretty color combination. And if I think back to my cards and the color combinations that really worked the best for them, this needs a lot more paint on it. You know, we can still see a lot of the underneath in it. And I had to go grocery shopping, and then I didn't get back to the jelly press after that. I cut up apples. I actually played a couple of video games. I was, you know, with what's going on at work, and I'll tell you what's going on at work after it happens, but huge changes are coming. It's very glittery. Is this one? Premium glitter. Acrylic paint. I didn't realize I was getting glitter paint. I thought I was just getting a dark paint. Oh, God. Very glittery. I'm not a glitter girl, but that's kind of cool. So we'll see. Maybe we'll do another one. But the work thing does have me incredibly stressed right now. Things are transitioning, as they should have been, you know, a year ago. I don't know where I'm going to land. And if I don't land in a friendly space, my life's going to change drastically. It's possible I'll have to start commuting to San Francisco every day, which takes 3 hours total round trip. That means that my art time will be demolished. That's if I even get offered a job from the other person. That's if they do what needs to be done with the current situation. But first I gotta deal with the current situation, which isn't good. If I don't accept a job in San Francisco, do I just move? Do I just move out of the Bay and find somewhere less expensive to live? That's going to be my number one goal. And I have no control over any of it. And I haven't liked the position that I've been put in because of it. And, you know, I've worked for my boss for 6 years now. So it's not just the fact of no longer working where I work, it's the fact of somebody, you know, not being able to perform his job. And as the assistant, I'm the one who gets the brunt of everything. And all I can do is make pretty art. That's all I can do, guys. Because I have no control over what's going to happen to me next. Other than saying yes or no. Other than, hopefully, you know, coming out at a good space with it. You know, it's hard to say. We don't know what's going to happen, right? We never know what's going to happen. But this one's scary. This one's really scary. All right. Doesn't matter. That little swirly is kind of cool. Okay, we're only getting a quarter of the book here. This is not so easy, covering these books this way. I thought this would be easier. It's really not. And even this guy doesn't get down where I want it to get down. So I don't think I would recommend doing this again. I wanted to finish, you know, of course, because I started. And once you start something, you kind of got to finish it. It's just the rules, right? And I think it looks cool enough as it is that it doesn't, you know, it's not hurting anything. It's just not quite what I had expected it would do. So maybe some other tools would be helpful here. What other options do we have? Because I'd like to cover that a little bit more. Wonder if I have a sponge around anywhere. I bought some new ones, but maybe I did, maybe I didn't. Who knows? I know I was running low on them. Let me have a drink of coffee here. So yeah, things that are happening in my life are not minor changes. They are major, major changes. And I don't know how it's going to end up. So that's why it causes me nightmares, and that's why it consumes my thoughts, you know, because it really does. And it's terrifying. It's got to happen. And I knew it would come. You know, it's not like this is a surprise, but it's always terrifying. Change is always scary. I think it's beautiful. So all I can control here is my little world. What I create, what I make, what I do. That's all I can control. And it's really pretty. I liked those swoops, but then I get a little concerned about them too. So let's see if there's another place that we can plop this down here and get. I like the texture that the Gelli press gives us, right? Down in there. Gorgeous. I think that one is pretty darn done. I think she's beautiful. I love making the purples and blues. As you can tell, I make a lot of them. So these are also Deli sheets, and I'll put these down in the listing below. I wanted to try these brown ones. I found the 12 by 12 squares, which those are down there. I wanted to try the brown. You know, they'll still give a translucent effect when used, but it's just going to be a different, more vintage color, less stark with the white, right? Huh. We'll have to see how that works out. And of course, we have to do layers of those. Okay. All right, next we have the green book. What color do I want to bring in here? I think probably more copper and more of the rusty reds. I think that, although, you know, I wanted to make, you know, a couple green books because, you know, some people really like green. And earth tone. So let's pull in the gold. And what color? Gold is always gorgeous. I do think maybe this guy would be great. Let's actually go with this guy. This is a vermilion. I'm just trying to use up the last of these paints that I had used. I've had these quite a while. I bought a lot of them when I was doing the acrylic flow paintings. So the differences between the basics level 1 and these paints are not that great. You know, $4.99, you can usually find these for half off somewhere. So for $2.50, you can get 4 ounces, and this is for $1. You can get 2 ounces, or $1.50, depending on what kind it is. The metallic is much more expensive. So these have a tendency to be a little bit heavier body. These are much more fluid. The more heavy body that you get, the more expensive the paint will be. It's more of a professional grade paint. Heavy body paint is thicker and less translucent, and that's why artists use heavy body paint for their professional paintings instead of now that's very pretty. You know, if I were painting one of my paintings, I wouldn't be using the cheapest paint I could find. So I found out my placement at the show this weekend. Let's talk about something better, huh? The placement at the show is going to be right next to the Snowland. So, I'm most likely going to be snowed on, but I'm also right next to the food trucks. So, I mean, like right next to the bathrooms and the food trucks. It's kind of crazy where they put me at. Hopefully, it'll be a good place that doesn't stink. And hopefully, there's enough space. I think that's beautiful, huh? Looks like rust, kind of. I think that one's done. So yes, I do choose opposite colors. There's a very thin layer of paint on here. Let's go ahead and get the ghost print off. Now that's pretty. That's very, very pretty. We're going to get a little bit more of this up here. Because you know that those little chunks are the best chunks. They give us all this great stuff under here. That's going to make a beautiful background. Okay. Which one's next? Let's do another blue. A blue-green. What did we do the first one? Here now. We did purple and blue. We did a copper. This one, purple again, but darker purple. Lighter blue. I haven't used this blue yet. I don't want to go too light with it though. I kind of love the color as it is. Let's go with some blue interference. Oh, come on. Oh, there we go. And remember, this stuff is the iridescent stuff. This stuff is gorgeous. And let's do a little bit more of this guy. Okay. All right, it's going to pick up some of those rusts underneath here too. Okay, we're not allowing it to get down into the insides there. Hi guys. What day is it? Friday morning. And I just had an idea. I'm still working on all these journals, and I have decided that I have about 8 of them completely done, and then some of these need, you know, extra layers and stuff. And I'll be finishing all of these up today. But then I got to looking. I bought all these napkins at Tuesday morning for like $2. Come on.